Players who think they are better than they actually are usually those players who love to point out the mistakes of everyone else but their own. What's up, GameLeap? Oh, the cheers, and in today's video we are going to take revenge on one of these players. Now this player is a Silver 2 Yasuo main and he thinks he should be ranked a heck of a lot higher than he actually is. So you are going to be the judges. Should he be ranked higher than Silver 2? Is it a fair ranking, or does he deserve to be lower than his Silver 2 rank? These are big questions and I want your big answers in the comments. So let's get into it. Now there is a level 1 fight here and Yasuo ends up picking an assist, and when he returns to the lane, watch what he's going to do to this minion. He's going to Q it to last hit it, but he's also going to Q this other minion here. Now in this lane he's against a Katarina who isn't the strongest early game champion, so we never really want to be pushing this wave into it if we don't have to. So what Yasuo can do is simply Q and last hit the minion he wants to last hit without Qing any others. Now his positioning here is great. As you can see, Katarina throws out a dagger and he positions away from his minions so the dagger doesn't bounce to him and pop his shield. This is excellent. This guy should be challenger. But he's going to commit the same mistake here, guys, with his Q. Yes, he can last hit this minion, but he last hits it while hitting the other minions as well. This pushes the wave into Katarina for no reason. And just imagine if you're Katarina, if the wave was here for a little bit longer. It's harder to play, isn't it? Because you're further away from your tower. So if you can push the wave as slow as possible, that's what you do. And with his tornado stacked, he's going to do the same thing with this Q. He decides to last hit this minion and hit this ranged minion as well, and this is just going to push the wave even more into Katarina rather than keeping it away from her tower, and this just denies Yasuo any real opportunity to damage the Katarina, who actually plays it kind of well and chills back, and because of this, Yasuo's level 2 is kind of wasted, and look where this next wave is. But despite all this, guys, people in these elos are going to give you opportunities regardless of how bad you manage these minion waves. So watch Katarina here. She's going to jump onto her dagger and hit the Yasuo, but this is a level 2 Katarina against a level 2 Yasuo with Conqueror. So who wins? Yasuo, obviously, and he actually does well. He Qs and auto attacks, but he makes a crucial mistake here because he has his tornado stacked at this point, and instead of actually holding on to this and waiting for his Q to come off cooldown so he can use it with his E, he ends up Eing through the Katarina. This means that he can't EQ and knock her up, and this is just a missed opportunity. Now he still wins the trade pretty hard and it was still pretty good, but it could be better. And you can also see the effects of managing these waves really poorly because Katarina actually hits level 3 first, and Yasuo has to play like a beta because of it. Now with this next wave as well, guys, it's actually not in a bad position for Yasuo, but for some reason, again, this dude just loves auto-attacking and queuing minions for fun. Like, anyone can do this. If you really want to separate yourself from silver, gold, platinum, even diamond players, have an intention with the minion wave and have a reason for actually hitting minions like this dude. Anyone can do this, even Kadim. Now with the next minion wave as well, you can see how this guy just loves to perma shove. There is nothing really special about this at all. All he's doing is denying himself the opportunity to damage the Katarina. This is why she's full HP. Now about 30 seconds ago, guys, J4, the enemy jungler, showed on the bot side of the map. Look where this Yasuo is standing during these minion waves. He is hugging the bottom side of this lane, which is closer to J4. Also look in the top side of the river. He has a scuttle crab vision ward there, which means that if J4 is going to gank him, it's most likely going to be from the bot side. So this guy should be holding the north side of the mid lane, and this is going to give him enough space to react to a potential J4 gank. And can you believe it? What does he do with the minion waves? He's just going to perma shove again. And with these two bits of information I've just given you, that J4 is probably bot side of the map and Yasuo is just perma shoving waves, this means that his positioning generally is going to be closer towards Cat's tower, and guess what's going to happen? He is eventually going to get ganked here, and just because his positioning is so bad, even if J4 misses his EQ because Yasuo doesn't have flash, it's a free kill. This shows you how important it is to understand what you are doing with minion waves. Just queuing minions for fun is not going to help you climb. And also your positioning in the mid lane has to be deliberate. Have a reason for standing somewhere. Now Yasuo returns to the mid lane, guys, and Katarina makes a play on the top side of the map. So what do we do in the mid lane? Well, we always want to shove these waves to try and create a cost for the enemy mid laner going to roam. But we also know that J4, because he showed on a ward, is actually bot side of the map again here. So Yasuo has to understand that if he does stay for a little bit longer, J4 is going to gank him as is Katarina from this top side. And what ends up happening, Kelsapri, he does end up getting ganked, and even though he plays this kind of okay, it doesn't matter. And eventually the enemy set comes, and even if he doesn't come, J4 obviously, because he lands his next EQ, would still be able to pick up the kill. So the reason for this death is that it's just a bit of map awareness, not actually respecting the fog of war and where J4 is, because most of the time if you're being greedy in the present, it is going to cuck you in the near future. Now Yasuo returns to mid lane, guys, after this second death, and guess what he's going to do with this minion wave? Who wants to guess? Come on. He's going to shove it. Well done. We've got a bunch of Sherlock Holmes watching. And what does this do again? Well, it leaves him vulnerable, doesn't it? To again gank. And because this guy doesn't like to place wards or jungle track or look at his map, he's lucky to be 0-2. He could be 0-5. His Yasuo mechanics aren't actually that bad, but his general understanding of how to manage minion waves, his positioning in the mid lane, and general map awareness is really lacking. Now this Yasuo, guys, is going to die in the next 30 or so seconds. Now Jarvan is in the top lane. Look, he just ganked the Teemo. So what does Yasuo do with this wave? Tell me, come on. That's right, he shoves. And while he shoves this wave, even though his positioning is actually generally good here, towards the south side of the lane, so away from J4, but then for whatever reason, he decides to E through the minions and stay towards the top side of this mid lane, meaning he's closer to J4. Also, because he's shoving the wave, he has to stand further up, and J4 comes in and actually makes the right play. He ults the Yasuo, and what does he do? He has to die again. So it doesn't matter how good your mechanics are on a champion, if your awareness of what is going on around you is as bad as this dude's, you are going to be in silver too. Now upon returning to the mid lane here, guys, Yasuo actually has an amazing chance to get back in this lane because of this picture right here. Now what can you tell me about this? That's right, this lane is actually going to freeze in this position. So freeze just means that the minion waves are going to be locked in this exact position for an indefinite amount of time. So really the key to this is when the enemy minions outnumber yours by 4, you can create a freeze, but the key to it is just a last hit. That's it. Do not queue the minions, do not hit more minions than you have to, just last hit the minion that is about to die. That is it. And he actually does a good job of managing this wave until he queues these minions. Oh my goodness me, the patience on this man is horrific. But for the first time in this game, he is going to place a trinket, as we can see in this top lane brush. So what this means is that until this trinket expires, Yasuo should really be positioning in this lane towards his vision. Now as you're going to see, this guy's just going to shove this wave in. But speaking for the actual vision part, wherever your vision is, you should just play towards it and stand towards it if you don't know where the enemy jungler is, because there is just a smaller chance of them ganking you on top of your ward because you will see them and be able to react to it. In saying that, can you spot the mistake here from this Yasuo? Why does he face check this brush knowing that J4 might be here, knowing that he doesn't have his flash, and if J4 jumps onto him, he is going to die again? So in another game, this would definitely be another death for this guy. Now this tactic here from Yasuo I don't actually mind because he almost baits the Katarina into pushing this wave into him, which is good, and even though he gives up a minion for it, he's still in XP range, no big deal. But unfortunately, again, once Katarina actually shoves this wave, he is going to have an opportunity to freeze this wave, but hits these minions with his tornado and then clears them. This means the wave is going to reset in the middle, as you can see, and this opportunity for a freeze dissipates, it's gone. Now with the next wave as well, if you really wanted to shove this as hard as he could, and obviously he does because that's all he knows, hitting all 6 of these minions with his tornado would have been better. And our friend is going to die for the 4th time in this game, and guess to who? Another J4 gank, that's right. And you might be like, oh, this is such a jungle diff. You've got to be kidding me. This guy's positioning in the lane, just perma shoving, holding the side of the lane that's closer to J4. Like, why wouldn't J4 gank him? Someone in Challenger is going to gank this guy even more, and it'd be 0-10. Now remember, Master Yi just died in the bot side river. So what does this mean for Yasuo's positioning? He should be holding the highest side of the lane, and even staying in this lane at this point is kind of risky, especially given the fact that he's sitting on a decent amount of gold to buy his Noon Quiver. So for tanking a tower hit like this and being half HP, J4 then shows mid, and he is eventually going to die at the end of this sequence. So much for pointing out the mistakes of others. Now I want you guys to predict the future. What do you think is going to happen with this next minion wave, and generally speaking in the mid lane? Is Yasuo going to kill the Katarina? Is he going to 1v2 the J4 in Katarina? Is he going to let the wave push into him? What do you think? Well, if you guessed that he's just going to push another wave and he's going to get ganked by the J4 and die for a 5th time in this game, you guys are geniuses, because that's exactly what this guy does. So after pushing this wave, and then again, look where this ward is in the top side of the map, kind of close to J4's wolf camp, he should know that if he gets ganked, it's going to be from the bot side. And maybe he does know this. Maybe he's just giving J4 free LP. I'm not sure, he's a win trader. That's the only explanation I have for how this guy's been playing. Now, just before we watch this final clip, guys, please, if you do enjoy these videos, let us know by leaving a like down below. And just watch this clip for me. It is an exact replica of what we've seen all the time in this game, but there is one tip I want to give you here, a new tip that is, when this tower is this low like this and you know you are going to get ganked. So look at the bottom side of the map. The enemy team just got the dragon, and there are a bunch of champions running towards Yasuo. If I press this button here, you can see there's Set, there's Twitch, there's Katarina. So dying for this tower might seem good, but this tower, you can probably get it in the next couple of minutes when Katarina goes to roam or J4 shows elsewhere on the map. Like, you don't have to get it right now, so if you don't in your games, don't feel pressured to. That tower will die very soon because it's low anyway, and what this means for the rest of the map when you do die like this Yasuo is that your team is 4v5ing. So J4 can run into Yi's jungle, Katarina can go and die bot lane or top lane. It just puts the rest of your map, your resources, in a more vulnerable position so they are more attainable for the enemy champions. So what do you guys think at the end end of this. Is this Yasuo Silver 2? Should he be bronze? Should he be gold? Let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button on your way out so you don't miss any of our future daily uploads. And also make sure to check out the GameLeap website. We have the best champion courses, guides, VOD analyses on the web on our website for our subscribers. So get signed up for that exclusive content. Links in the description and comment section. And until tomorrow's daily upload, this has been the Jizz. Oh.